Today we're visiting the newest addition to the Berkeley Heights restaurant scene. We're looking at Cafe Vincotto. All right, Tony, we're so excited to be here at Cafe Vincotto, the newest restaurant in Berkeley Heights, getting great reviews. Your menu is described as contemporary European American. For people that haven't been here, what does that mean?
So, first of all, thank you for being here. We're happy to be in Berkeley Heights. As far as the menu goes, contemporary European American is that we're trying to twist a little bit of very popular proteins that are used across the world, especially in Europe and also in America, and trying to recreate them in a healthier and a modern way. So like most of the ingredients that we use are very organically grown.
And your roots are you're Albanian.
I'm Albanian.
And it looks like a lot of the menu has kind of a heart from the Adriatic Sea in that region.
So, I mean, Italy is the epicenter of culinary in the world, I would say, probably. Also, we are a little bit influenced from the French cuisine as well. So, us being from there, we're trying to bring a little bit of different stuff to the town and also to the region in the area.
Let's just talk about food, because food is the center here.
Food is my language.
Out of the appetizers, what is your maybe favorite?
A lot of people are saying that the calamari and the octopus are the best one they've ever had. So those are two of our best selling from our menu. The way that we created our menu is like we made it, if I can call them, departments. Like we have the starters, we have the salads, we called it the dough, the pastas, then we got the seafood and the meat options. So this is just so for people, to make it easier for people to make decisions and to see if they want this or they want that. So like I said, the calamari and the octopus are the best selling that we have. From the salads, I would say, we were joking the other day with the chef, we were saying like, we should have the beet salad mandatory on every table. That's how good it is.
Sounds great.
We don't skip any of the smallest possible step when it comes to freshness, when it comes to, creating, having them ready, every ingredient to be plated. So it takes a little longer because, there's steps that we have to follow in order to give all the taste, all the freshness, the seasoning that we wanted to have.
Yeah, and I agree that the octopus is fantastic. We had it the other night, and my daughter, I think she ate half of it. So that's confirmation that it was great.
It's very good. So, and we try to keep everything as fresh as possible. That's why we're not overloading the menu with a lot of items, because when you have a lot of items, it's very hard to keep everything extremely fresh as we want it to be.
And the pastas, are they all made in-house?
They're made in-house, and the way we do them is that we make everything in small batches. So like, we would rather run out of things at the end of the night than having to wrap things up.
And then Vincotto means cooked wine. Is that kind of the centerpiece of the proteins?
So yeah, so there's two reasons why we picked the name. The one with the proteins is true. So every dish uses different wines. So we don't have, let's say, just one white cooking wine that we use for everything. So particular fish dishes use particular wine. So for instance, any dish that requires, or that we use Chardonnay, for instance, we go lighter on the butter because Chardonnays have a little buttery taste. So then it's not overloaded. So that's why we use particular wines with the particular dishes. The second reason is this has to do with me. So when I used to work in the city, I used to work in a really nice steakhouse, and those big restaurants, before the dinner shift, the chef will come out. We call it the pre-shift. The entire staff will sit down. The chef will talk about specials, new things on the menu and things like that. So that day, he added a salad on the menu with Vincotto dressing. I think it was Fig Vincotto. And he was going around the room. It was like probably, if I can recall it right, like over 30 people working that day. So he went around the room and he said, does anyone know what Vincotto is? No one knew. I mean, I was born and raised in the farm personally. So, you know, we used to make these things. My mother used to make these, still makes these things. You know, we grow our own vegetables. So like pretty much everything that we see at the farmer's market, we had it in our backyard as fresh as possible. So anything you need to do, go outside, grab it. So nobody raised a hand, and I'm like, I know what it is, and I was never the guy to, you know, show off, but I had to take it for the team. So then I raised my hand and I started explaining it, and the chef goes, how do you know that? I said, well, my mother used to make it, you know, and that's how I know, and it's really good. So I started explaining it, and then from that day until the last day of my tenure in that place, my name changed from Tony to Vincotto. So a lot of people were addressing me as Vincotto instead of Tony. So then the more people were saying it, the more it became part of me. Then when we took the place over, we went on Google and searched, and to the best of our knowledge, there was not another place with the same or similar name at all in America. I think there was one in Turkey and one small little place in Italy.
On your protein side, we had the fish, we had branzino. It was cooked beautifully, crispy skin, but very tender. What are some of the popular protein dishes here?
I would say from the seafood dishes, the red snapper is really, really good, and also salmon. So we make it, when we cook it, we crispy the skin. So in a lot of places, the skin is just a little moist. In here, we try to make it crispy, so when you take the bite of the skin as well, so you blend the flavors. As far as the meat options, the short ribs, we braise it low and slow in the ovens for 6 hours, so they're just so soft. So I would say probably the short rib is one of the best, the most popular ones. Not forgetting the burger on the weekdays. We don't serve them on the weekends because we don't want to serve a burger, we want to serve the burger. So flavoring the meat, mixing the meat, we do it fresh per order. So that's why it takes longer for the burger, and if we do that on the weekend, it will not be so fast.
Both dishes sound fantastic. And then finally, the dessert. You explained to us the other night about the baklava, that it's a 100-year-old recipe.
So baklava is a over 100-year-old recipe that my family used to make it. I remember my grandmother used to make it back in the day, and then my mother followed the same recipe, still does. So we do the exact same way. And every time we went overseas, my wife used to always watch my mother, how she does it. So now my wife makes it at home. So to make a pie of baklava, it takes 7 hours, the entire thing. And it's not that, you know, you have to do something and then you can just leave it in there. You have to be planted in there for 7 hours. It takes approximately 3 to 3.5 hours just to do the dough. And we do the filo dough. We stretch it fresh per pie, and it's 120 layers of it. Once you're done with that, then you have to cook it for another 3.5 hours. And it's not that you can just put it in the oven. You have to flip, you know, every 15 minutes so it gets an even bake. Once that's done, you got to take it out, and then you let it cool, and then you add the honey syrup in three episodes. So you get 1/3, 2/3, and then the rest within probably like 4 or 5 hour. So the entire thing is probably like a 24-hour process. Yeah,
a lot of work goes into it, but it tastes fantastic. And if you want to go the extra step, you can go to the Sunday baklava.
Yeah, so we wanted to make it, you know, even more appealing, more refreshing, I should probably say. So we try to cut the sweetness of it, because obviously baklava is one of the sweetest desserts out there. In all the desserts, we try to cut the sugar content below average, because sometimes you can have an amazing dinner, and then when it comes to dessert, you take a bite and everything you had, it just, you know, it just bothers you because of the sweetness of it. So in all of our desserts, we try to keep the sugar content, the sweetness, a little below the average, so it will just blend with the food that you just had prior. So the sundae, we put pistachio gelato on top, and then we put some pistachio dust. So it's very refreshing. So we chop, it's the exact same baklava. We just chop it, put it in a bowl, and then we put the pistachio gelato over it, and then some pistachio dust. It's actually very, very popular.
And what we love about local businesses is how they give back. I mean, you're a resident of Berkeley Heights.
Yep.
How does Cafe Vincotto give back to the local community?
Well, now we're approaching September, so we're going to be part of the restaurant month for this year. Will be our first year, so first year in town, and we're happy to participate. So we came up with a, to my knowledge, very, very good. But we tirelessly worked with the chef to put things together. It should be up on the website by now. So it's going to be a prefix menu, 3 courses. Looking forward to that. Besides that, we also donate to schools, nonprofit organizations, and things like that as well. We've been here for not even 6 months, and we've already donated, I would say, quite a few times.
Great.
We're happy to do it.
Thanks so much to Tony for sharing the Cafe Vincotto story. Definitely come out. The Yelp reviews are in. It's earning 5 stars. Definitely, I was just here on Saturday night, had a great meal. Definitely come out to Berkeley Heights, check out Cafe Vincotto. If you like this video, please share it, and also visit buylocalnj.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
See you soon.